Well, looks like it's a pissing contest between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I know. The bottom of the barrel. Both these two individuals. That's right. The click, copy, paste of 2020 has returned in 2024. And of course, let's face it. Right now, there's a lot of liberals who are panicking. There's a lot of liberals who are scared right now because, oh no, goodness gracious, what's happening? Trump is outraising them. Democrats are afraid now because of what Trump is bringing to the table, and that is he is successfully fundraising throughout his campaign. He has been able to capitalize on his mugshots and all of his legal trials, and now corporate media, no one can hide it. No one can deny the fact that, yes, Trump is raising money, but also for the fact that we're also seeing firsthand how big tech billionaires are going to have a lot to say in this election cycle. And since our business and a lot of people in independent media are in big tech, this is clearly going to impact us. I said that this election cycle was going to be entertaining, but also a little bit frightening too. So let's go ahead and play this video. Huge shout out to Case Study QB. Welcome back, brother. We're so glad to have you back. Keep on doing the good work. But again, I have no idea how you're able to sit through corporate media and not crack your head open, because this would make me go crazy. So if you're not following Case Study QB, please do so.
Donald Trump is set to raise even more campaign cash after a week of post-verdict fundraising. Today, he's going to, first of all, be back on the trail for the first time, becoming a convicted felon. He's going to stop at a town hall in Phoenix hosted by a far-right group. But then he is going to the very blue city of San Francisco for a fundraiser with big tech billionaires. There's no one better to talk about this with than CNN contributor Kara Swisher, the host of Pivot and On podcasts. Hi, Kara. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
What does it tell us about the names, these big names of tech who are going to be with Donald Trump and why they're supporting him?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see who goes. I have not been invited, Dan. I'm in San Francisco right now, and I'm still waiting for that invitation. But it's being run by David Sachs and Chamath Palihapitiya, who is he worked for Facebook. Chamath did. He's a longtime investor. He was very famous for SPACs. He worked on Facebook's ill-conceived phone many years ago. David Sachs is an investor who's sort of a middle-level investor who's gotten very big in donations and things like that, trying to make himself an influencer. He was one of the many PayPal people, part of the PayPal mafia. I always sort of call him the fifth Beatle, because you know about Peter Thiel or Max Levchin or, all those really great entrepreneurs like Reid Hoffman. But so he's been trying to insert himself with a lot of opinionating and this and that, close with Elon Musk, for sure.
You mentioned David Sachs.
Look, the influence of big tech into our political landscape is forever going to remain. And I'm going to tell you why. All of our lives are interconnected to social media, whether you like it or not. I mean, probably millennials and maybe to some extent Gen Z will be the last generations to remember a time when the internet wasn't connected to us. I mean, we're going to look back at the 80s and 90s as an innocent era, even though they had their own fair share of problems. But big tech is connected to us. We do everything online. And now our political system is also connected to big tech because we have legalized bribery in this country. Corporations are people, my friends. These same big tech billionaires can now buy politicians, and politicians have made it very clear that they're for sale. Democratic politicians and Republican politicians. And of course, Trump, being a expert, I guess, in knowing how to run media, because after all, look at all the hit pieces that's happened to Trump. He knows all too well how the media game is played. And if you're able to get funding from big tech investors, well, let's just say your life will be on easy mode. Of course, you have to do what the donors say, because Donald Trump once infamously said during the 2016 Republican primary debate, I give these people money and they do what I say. Some of these big tech executives give Trump money and he'll probably do what they say. Maybe. This is Trump we're talking about, though.
And he actually responded on X to another Silicon Valley investor who donated to Trump. And David Sachs said, quote, after Biden's disastrous presidency, Trump has a lot of supporters in Silicon Valley. Many are just afraid to admit it. But with each act of courage like this one, the dam begins to break. Do you think he's right? Is that your impression? I mean, obviously, there are still a lot who support Biden.
No. the guy who was responding to him was someone who's been a long time, I guess libertarian would be I don't even know what to call these people. I don't think they have politics. I think they are interested in influence, and they realize that politicians are cheap. And so they can get a lot of it.
Yeah, all of them are. All of them are. Yes, CNN. Yes, is this a surprise? Oh my God, politicians are cheap. Hold on. Let's do this properly. This is acting in 3, 2, 1. Hang on. Average citizen reaction. Oh my God, our politicians can be bought? They're nothing more than cheap hookers. These foul politicians can be bought by big oil, big tech, big pharma, pro-Israeli lobby groups, the military-industrial complex. I can't believe it. I thought we had a representative republic. It's a nightmare.
Of money. I mean, $30 million is nothing to these people. They're very wealthy. And so, no, he was talking about someone else. There's always been conservatives in Silicon Valley. It's never been as liberal as people think it is, especially at the top. And there's been a long time history. Meg Whitman, John Chambers at Cisco, and everything else. These are just people who are sort of trying to get in on.
Folks, hey, let's have democracy in the chat. Or you know what, better yet, I want to hear your thoughts. What kind of level of shock are you in regards towards corruption being in American politics from 0 to 9,000? What is your shock? 0 being I'm not, this is not a shock, to 9,000 being I'm surprised. If it's over 9,000, type it's over 9,000. I love you.
On the game, and they realize how easy it is. There's another group of people like Reid Hoffman, Mark Cuban, Ron Conway, who are very supportive of Biden and have been of previous things. Chamath was a big supporter of Obama and Hillary Clinton, and so I think he was with Hillary Clinton too. But so they just shift. They just want influence. This is what's in hand waving, and then they play the victim. They're always the richest people in the world.
Must be nice for $30 million not to be a lot of money.
Yes, $30 million. Nothing like pissing in the wind to buy off a politician, right?
I want to tell our viewers, and I want you to talk about some of.
It's not.
I know it's not. I know. It's hard to wrap your mind around sometimes. You and I were texting earlier about the fact that these tech billionaires, I mean, Meg Whitman aside, and she's maybe from a few years ago, but they're spending their money the way you just described. Compare that to Melinda Gates, Mackenzie Bezos.
Well, these guys just want to be influencers and hand wave and tell us what we should do in Ukraine, of which they.
That's like the third or fourth time she's mentioned influencers. Something tells me she might be jelly of the Instagram models who are influencers too. Don't worry. I'm pretty sure some Dubai prince will say, "Hey, flying over to Dubai." Okay, I kid. I'm sorry.
They have no ability to understand it in any way, but nonetheless, it doesn't stop them. Mackenzie Scott is what she's calling herself now, and Melinda Gates have given billions, especially Mackenzie has given billions of dollars to groups, all taking this fortune that she got as part of her divorce settlement with Jeff Bezos and spreading it all around the world in terms of giving money, not taking credit, just handing the money over to really great things that really affect people. And
oh yeah, because a multi-billionaire, doesn't want anything in return, right? Listen, folks, I'm gonna give you some wisdom that was passed down to me by my elders. There's no such thing as a free lunch. It doesn't exist. Watch, I'm gonna get some comments, and people are gonna type in the comment section. Actually, I've had a free lunch before.
Just walking away. She doesn't need to hand wave. She doesn't need to say, "Look at me," as these guys do. And she does that. Melinda Gates has just announced she's going to be doing the same thing through Pivotal Ventures with both investments and philanthropy aimed at women and girls, but also she's giving money to helping boys and mental health and everything else. So to me, these women represent what's great about wealthy people giving things away. And these other people are just looking to have a party and be able to sleep in the Lincoln bedroom, and they don't care who they back, and they don't care about women's rights. They don't care about anything else but themselves.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ, this lady's such passive aggressive. She's obviously has her fair share of Trump derangement syndrome, because don't worry, folks, the article I'm going to bring up, try not to laugh. If you're on your way to work, Don't go into road rage, all right? Or use that. Try not to laugh so hard that you get in a car accident, because this next article is going to be quite hilarious.
And so the contrast is rather stark between philanthropists like Melinda Gates and Mackenzie Scott and these clowns.
I keep thinking about that TV show Loot, which I'm sure you've seen, and we're out of time, with Maya Rudolph, and when you're describing that, that is exactly what we're seeing. I don't know if you're going to get that invitation, Kara. I wouldn't hold my breath. But thank you for. I'm glad that you accepted the invitation that we gave you to be on Inside Politics.
Oh God, yeah, because everyone's clamoring at the bit to be on CNN. So speaking of fundraising, hey, here's that Uno reverse from the Biden-Harris administration. That's right, Democrats are striking back hard because look, Kimmel in Biden fundraising pitch. I host a TV show that Trump hate watches. This is what you call projecting. Hey, Democrats, man, look, even if you do win, the amount of cringe and embarrassment you guys are doing just to try and outshine Trump is pretty pathetic. Listen, I'm going to give you some old advice. Again, because look, Democrats, corporate media, vote blue no matter who. I love you, but you're not serious people, okay? You're not serious people. Trump is a person that thrives off of attention. Donald Trump is nothing new. All of you watching this show right now, you have run into a Donald Trump at some point in your life, be it a guy or a gal, no matter what age they are. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we run into people who are egomaniacs or either that, know how to trigger people, know how to get under your skin. And there are, again, all of us, each are different. We have our points to where somebody can really eat at the back of our mind. However, Kimmel, you're projecting that Donald Trump is thinking about you. He just knows what to say to trigger you. You're a comedian. You should know better. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Jimmy Kimmel is highlighting his rancorous relationship with the former President Trump in a fundraising pitch for Joe Biden and the Democrats, boasting he hosts a show that the former president hate watches. Hi, it's Jimmy Kimmel, the ABC late night TV host, said in a Thursday email sent by the Biden Victory Fund. I host a poorly rated show on TV. Yeah, of course, because TV's dying. The only people who are watching are those who have nothing else better to do or don't have access to the internet, or either that who live in old folks' homes. Okay, TV is a dying landscape. I host a poorly rated TV show on TV that Donald Trump hate watches. He added before making an appeal to donors to win a trip to a star-studded Biden campaign fundraiser this month in Los Angeles. Him, George Clooney, and oh my God, Julia Roberts. Because, yeah, Hollywood's such a fun place to hang out. Trump will hate this, so let's do it. You're assuming that Trump actually cares about you. You're assuming that he gives a damn. The email signed by Kimmel said, okay, our democracy may not survive another 4 years of a Trump presidency, the comedian said. As our president might say, that's no joke. Man, that's no joke. No joke. The host regularly skewers Trump on his show because comedians, especially late night TV, has nothing else better to do than roast a former president, Trump, because Trump derangement syndrome is all too real. He and the former commander in chief have also engaged in long-running war of words. Trump has slammed Kimmel as dumb and called his TV ratings terrible. It's kind of funny when you think about it. In March, Kimmel responded live on stage at the Academy Awards to a social media post from Trump criticizing his hosting skills at the annual Hollywood ceremony. Has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? Trump asked on Truth Social. And of course, Kimmel said back, isn't it past your jail time? Oh, yeah, you totally got him there. No, but seriously, the Oscars were the lamest of them all. The only highlight from the Oscars was when Godzilla -1 won its nomination. And that was great. That was great right there. But again, the Academy Awards, Hollywood, the entire landscape, nothing but a joke. But what's the big takeaway from this segment? What can we learn? What can we learn from everything that we're seeing from all these fundraisers that are taking place here in the good old US of A during the 2024 presidential election cycle? It should tell you that the donors, the top 1%, not only just tech billionaires, hedge fund managers, Wall Street executives, big banks, corporations, all of the lobby groups, are going to get what they want. No matter who sits in the White House, be it Biden or Trump, the billionaires, the corporations, Wall Street, etc., are going to get the laws written in favor for them. And in turn, anyone that disagrees with the current system, well, you're going to be called a troublemaker. See, be it a Republican or a Democrat, I've said this before, the same people who donate to Democrats donate to Republicans. Same people who donate to Republicans donate to Democrats. And if it's not them directly, then it's through third parties or other groups and organizations or people who represent said people who want to, again, buy a politician. See, buying a politician in the United States is a great investment if you're a billionaire. It's not Trump that's the problem. It's the whole system. The system gave rise to Trump. And it was a system designed by Joe Biden and his fantastic friends who've been serving in Congress for decades in the swamp bubble that is called Washington, D.C., a swamp that is filled with the most toxic of individuals who do not care about the American people, who only come to us when they need something from us. No matter what happens, you, the voter, are last in line. It is the donor, not the voter, that gets what they want. The only reason why they're asking for your vote is to give legitimacy to their false system.